Hey you, I'm Mark, husband of one, father of three, maker of puns, climber of trees, grower of businesses, pitcher of tents, occasional cutter of cheese, word nerd, and lover of families. Oh no. Oh no, not yet. No. Oh, here he comes. Where's my oar? Showed that Kraken who's boss. At least until like 2 p.m. this afternoon. I think I'll be due for another attack by then. Let's jump into it. Hey, welcome to all of you bandits and chilies. This episode is called Welcome, This Is What I'm Doing Here. What are you doing here? So it's like the obligatory welcome episode of a new podcast, got to introduce the podcast, introduce myself. Hi, I'm Mark, by the way. Tell you the purpose of being here, etc. So the purpose of this podcast is to provide value to a free group that I'm running called Family Oriented Business Growers. And it's my hope to provide that value in 3 specific ways. So firstly, I want to reach to the inner ears of people who resonate with the idea and the struggles of that group of family-oriented business growers and let them know that we exist so that you can come and join a group of other family-oriented business growers. Secondly, by the content of this podcast, dealing with all things business from a family angle and family from a business angle, there will be some great nuggets to grab along the way. And lastly, and most importantly, I'm going to add value to our free group for family-oriented business growers by interviewing members of the group on here and hearing stories and learning from their struggles and experiences. I've also got some interviews already lined up with people who will be able to provide a ton of value to this group, including one that I just recorded the other day with James Carter, who has 10 kids, and I think that they're currently running 3 businesses. It might have been 4. Honestly, I can't remember. His life is so hectic that I can't even keep on top of it just from interviewing him. So, you think you've got problems. And then also John Carbazon, who has a really incredible backstory, hero origin story of having gone through epic hardships and debt, bankruptcy, and then from there, recovering and building a really, really successful business and life and just the whole like recovery journey of that. So a couple of those already lined up and a few others in the works. Also, I better provide some context around the intro and you just wait for the outro. I like to use the analogy of your business being like a Kraken, right? So in terms of, being a family-oriented business grower, you have this business, which is this beast that you've fed and raised. And as it gets bigger, it grows these tentacles and it gets more demanding. And then you try and close your office door and go out and do something with the family. And this tentacle just rushes out from under the door, like the crack of the door, and it grabs you around the knee and it's trying to pull you back. You're dragged, kicking and screaming. You've got to whack it with an oar. And then just as you escape from the clutches of that tentacle, another tentacle comes out from the phone screen from within your pocket and it's trying to grab you around the neck. And that's just the struggles of trying to tame and constrain this monster that you've created. And it can feel like this unpredictable, Kraken attack that is just it's I feel like I'm about due, when's the next one? And so a really big part of, being a family-oriented business grower is ensuring that your business is serving you, that it's serving the purpose that you started it for, and that it is allowing you to be present and to show up for your family in the way that you want to, right? So that's what's going on in the intro. Like I said, just wait for the outro. So this is just a quick overview of what I'm doing here. And if you can enjoy my lame dad jokes, you'll get to know more about this as we go. Anyway, but the real question, the more important and interesting question, at least from my perspective, is what are you doing here? Where are you up to in your journey of family and or your journey of business? What has led you here? What are you looking for? And what do you need right now? Jump into the Family-Oriented Business Growers group. There will be a link in the outro and also in the show notes. Introduce yourself in there and let me know, right? I'd really like to hear where you're at in your journey, where you're trying to go, what's happening, right? Each episode is going to include a little challenge, typically a tiny little action. This particular one you can do in your head, but bonus points, and you will get more out of it if you write it down. I'm a big believer in the magic of pen and paper, right? So even if you want to cheat and write it down just on your phone, the act of writing it is going to be beneficial, right? So the challenge for you from this episode is to actually think about what you are doing 3 specific times today. So let's take listening to this episode as an example, because it's pretty much the only thing that I know for certain that you are doing today. I mean, I'm not, this is as stalkerish as it gets, right? I know you're doing this. I don't know what you're doing afterwards. But really, consider those questions I just asked. Like, what brought you here? Why are you listening to this instead of Taylor Swift right now? What does it say about you that you're the kind of person that's listening to this? And then take that same approach 2 other times today. See, I've already given you a free one. I gave you a task, 3 things, and then I've just given you one. So you've only got 2 left. It's super easy. But, maybe later, think about what you're making for dinner. Why that? Why today? What habits and unconscious mental shortcuts have led to that decision and that action specifically? Is it in alignment with who you are and who you want to be? Because it is a reflection of who you are. I mean, you're doing it. You're the one that's making that. But do you want to be the person making that? And, if yes, then great, pat on the back for you. But if not, why are you prepping and consuming something that doesn't align with the person that you want to be? Now, on to something lighter, I'm also going to include and end each episode with a lame dad joke and a quote for the day. So today's lame dad joke is one that I made up myself. And as such, it does come with a trigger warning because this is especially lame. So it's probably best to prep with some breathing exercises. Just, go with me. Just to get ready for the groan that is about to be induced, okay? So you have been warned. So did you know that in Valencia, if someone invites you to a nudist picnic in a field of stinging nettles, you're supposed to thank them? It's a real Spain in the gracias. Yeah, no, that joke, that was so bad that I think it flipped the podcast. I actually think I heard a tiny piece of you die after I told that. That I can't promise that they'll get better. And I would apologize for it, but I gave you a trigger warning, so really it's your own fault for having heard that. Now, on to the quote for the day. Better to end on a high note. I wasn't 100% sure who to attribute this quote to. Google tells me it belongs to Joyce Meyer, so let's run with that. The quote is this: think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you're thinking about. And I thought that fits in well with the little challenge for thinking about what you're doing and whether it is in thought or in action, but to try to catch yourself on autopilot and assess what's actually going on there. This concept is kind of explored in, I think it's James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, of, basically like the objective curious scientist, pretend that you're studying some strange creature objectively. And when you catch yourself doing a thing automatically, just, free of judgment, just be like, it's odd that he would do that. I wonder why this organism thinks it's necessary to grab the roundest stones available in order to build its nest. Or whatever it is that you do with your free time. I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I know for sure that you're doing today is listening to this. Beyond that, if you're building, rock nests later, that's on your time.
Anyway, that's it. Have an awesome day and make someone else's day awesome whilst you're at it. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Are you sniffing what I'm stepping in? If you're looking for a really valuable community centered around building your business, being really intentional with your spouse and kids, and if you think you can tolerate my terrible dad jokes, then join Family-Oriented Business Growers. It's awesome. There's self-paced challenges designed to help you solve key pain points within your business in short, intentional sprints. There's awesome people in there doing awesome things who have experience with stuff that can help you, having stood where you stand. You'll benefit from what's in there, we'll benefit from having you in there, you legend you, and best of all, it's totally free and also free of toxic shenanigans because we don't tolerate none of that. The mission of the group is to help 250 family-oriented home service business owners reclaim 5 hours per week for what matters most whilst growing their business this year. So jump in there and get amongst it. Join via warplan.au, that's warplan.au. Oh no. He's early. Warplan.au. Catch you in there. Ah!